Peace, love, prosperity. Oof, child. It's a brand new day. I'm ready to go and play. It's by Danny Go. That is by Danny Go. Great one for the toddlers. If you want to jump around and move around, dance and hop and all the things, you know. A lot of children love jamming out to Danny Go. Danny Go. We to Danny Go, okay? Remember yesterday? Like truly, it's my sis at the end of the day was like, sis, like, sorry you had such a crappy day. And I was like, sis, my response to it was crappy. It's not that the day was crappy. It was my response to it. My response to responsibility, my response to doing, my resistance to complications, no one loves to use the word lacking, but the emotional scoopity doopity up, the emotional straighten up, the emotional sovereignty, the emotional control, the emotional mastery, the emotional containment, the emotional alchemy, the emotional aspects. And that's, in energy and motion, right? And it's like, well, it could be the energy could look like that, and then it could look like that, and then it could look like this, and then it could look like that. It's like, it's just like, so say that's sadness, that's anger, that's jealousy, that's fear, like it's like emotions, energy and motion could move however it wants to move based on our own preconditioning, based on our own beliefs, based on our, and when I say preconditioning, it's the how we've already been encoded, how we've already been wired, how we've already been programmed, what our body and our brains have already learned in regards to how to respond to certain situations and dynamics and feelings that come up and discomforts that come up. And that's really it, like the discomfort. Feel the fear and do it anyways. I said to feel the fear. I said to do it anyways. Ooh, child. To do it. To do it. And yesterday, because I wasn't engaging in the marijuana practices, the herbal meditation, even though I wasn't treating it as a meditation, sacred as a meditation, permiso, not being with it, not having it meant, okay, well, everything that you are would love to run away from today, you're not able to. And even more so, more things are going to surface up that you got to respond to. And if you respond to it in an emotional manner, you'll make more problems for yourself. Like, and not even an emotional manner, in an uncontrollable, uncontained emotional manner, because it's not the emotions that are the issue. It's how it is then expressed. And yesterday I was getting real pissed because it was like, when women express emotions, it's like a problem. But when our male bodied beings express emotions, 9 out of 10, like, y'all let them get away with them spazzing out or crashing out or hurting us or doing whatever they doing. And it's like, okay, just get back to it. There's no like backlash and like, how you gonna just take your emotions out and do all of that? Da, da, da. You need to go to this, you that, you that. Men are so, you're like, no one's doing the whole shebang. When a guy chooses to run to the cops to say a lie because they wanted to, control the situation and protect themselves so that they don't get, all these things. Or no one um no one chastises the guy that's like, oh, well, like this was my experience yesterday, where it's like, oh, I tell my child I'm going to do something, but then I'm talking to my child's mother and I'm not liking this conversation, so I'm going to not do what I said I'm going to do for my son. Okay, but you know what? That's pitiful. That's pitiful, right? That's pitiful, pitiful. Like, shorties really look their child in the face and say, I got you. And then in the line, paying for what they say they got you for, their mom come and ask a question. They don't like the question. They don't want to have the conversation. Mama not yelling. Mama not doing nothing. Mama not. And Shorty says, well, I'm going to leave. Even though you were 2 seconds, you were next in line to get what you said you was going to get for our baby. Your emotion now, because you're elevating your voice, you're doing all of this. I asked a simple question, but these questions are not simple to you in the way that you don't, the way that you respond, and it's overwhelming. So you go away. Well, I'm not gonna do it anymore. Okay, I'm leaving. And then blame your mom that I'm not getting you what I said I'm gonna do. But blame your mom though. Let's point fingers over that way. Yeah, I could have ignored your mom. I could have stopped speaking if I didn't want to engage in her conversation, asking where your clothes were that she sent you. And if I didn't want to, I'd say, Marquita, I'm done discussing this right now. Just gonna get this for my son, and then I'm gonna head out. You could have done that. Like the bike with the stitches and get me all bruised up. Like you could have said, I'm just gonna walk away, Marquita. But no, like shorties come from their emotions, and it's like fine and dandy. But when we come from our emotions, it's like, y'all. And it's like how people show those videos that show you how it would be if men or male body beings were experiencing what women experience, like in work settings. I don't remember the commercial, but there was a like short film going around, and it's like, the guy says something and they're like, do you need to jerk off or something, like how they say, like, you got your period, like you need to jerk off or something, like what's going on with you? But it was like little stuff like that like flips the script, and the guy's on the other end confused, like, what do you mean? No, I'm just attempting to be heard, like one of those, like, but you making it seem like I'm being loud and disruptive and chaotic, but I'm attempting to be heard though. You don't see that. You don't see that part. You don't see what you doing that is getting us where we having us where we at. But you see mine, and it's me that got to change. And like, so yesterday was really a lot for me, and especially because I was negative $145, and I haven't been negative in so long, literally years. I've learned about being negative, y'all. Again, I've been on my own since 17. Okay, did you ever, like, I remember when overdraft fees started, when they activated, you could do overdraft. I remember it being in college when it got started. And I remember years later opting out because the negative 34, negative 34, negative 34, negative 30, 34, one of my least favorite numbers. Okay. So fees on fees on fees on fees, always a fee. I said, just stop. And now in the past couple years, they have they upgraded the fee that if it's under negative 50, they won't charge you. So I'm attempting to work things out, and for me, y'all, my first time in a long time, I close out them subscriptions, them free trials. I close that out. Like, before, I used to put it in the calendar and do it the 2-3 days before, and then I found out you could remove it immediately and still get the free trial. Period. Period. That's what I was doing, but something was going on, like, off with that, and it was like taking the trial off or something. So I didn't do it this time. And I tell you, when I got that message that Duolingo was taking $119 out of my account, you see this? And having this relationship with money where it's like $119 affects me so heavily, ridiculous, because it's chump change. It's literally a penny. Like, it's nothing money. And my whole life, like, ready to end it all. Again, I would never, I shared it on IG, but since we're new here, just so the people who aren't aware of my story, I was what you call suicidal. I had suicidal thoughts back when I was like 19 or so. It was like my second or third year of college. Um, and yeah, that was this whole thing. And two things happened after that made me decide I would not choose to kill myself. One, at the time I was tuned into Yeshua, Jesus, Jesus, whatever calls it, whatever you want to call it. And I was like, listen, I was thinking of all the ways to unalive myself, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna step in front of a bus. But then I was like, nah, he's gonna save me, and then I'm gonna be crippled and I'm gonna be tired. So let me not do it. Like, let me not. And then years later, when I was introduced to reincarnation, I was like, oh, like, I'm gonna have to come back. I'm gonna have to start back where I last ended off at. Like, there's no point. There's no win. Like, you do not. It's not like you leave this life and get to something better. You either gonna, like, come back doing the same thing you pick up where you left off, if source give you that, you know, opportunity to come back to planet Earth as a human, one, and then two, like, it ain't no telling that you're gonna be sent as a tree, bro. Like, I just want to be an ancestor. I want to either go to another planetary system like Sirius, just one of those. Just get me outside the Palladians, whoever, and or be an ancestor. I'll be all up in my baby's business. Like, well, you don't need, you don't source. I'm focused. Okay, you gave me the one. You only had one job. Say that's it. I will just be sending all the messages to my baby and my grandbabies and my loved ones. Like, I would be on, like, protector. It's just, I'd be so stoked being an ancestor. Ancestor. Hey, Khadija. So I was like, you know what? Since Source is not for sure letting me know that if I choose to leave this lifetime, that I will for sure come back as an ancestor, or, go in another spirit system, star system, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to take myself out, because there's no certainty in that things will be better. And what is certain is that if when I do the work, when I apply what I know, then it gets better. So it's like, there's certainty in that. There's uncertainty taking yourself out. So, there's times, and especially yesterday, I was expressing what comes up for me, and sometimes what comes up for other people, that lead to the depressive energy, that lead to the suicidal thought patterns, that lead to, like, feeling like, with life, like, lead to wanting to, like, thug it all, throw it all away to the wind. And for me, it was revolving around my relationship with money and resources, right? I have not been negative in so long. So when that happened, and mind you, I've been tracking this relationship with money for years. I remember back in the day when I woke up and it's the first thing, check my account. Because when you live paycheck to paycheck, it's like, it's almost like you want to check to see if you secure for the day. But when source is your supply, when you check in with source first, gratitude source, waking up with my $1 billion breath, baby, appreciate y'all. Like, when you wake up with that, like, that's where you begin to fuel your car, you start to change the direction of your vehicle to head in the abundant alignment that you are, like the abundant being that you are, to go into alignment with that. It means speaking different, thinking different, right? Which allows you to be different, so that you do different, so that you have different. You already know. Jatu sabe, we do have. We be do having. We be do having. Be do having. So, with that being said, I was just pissed. I'm like, man, been on my own 17, almost 2 decades, and we still doing this? Yo, we still doing this like this? Like, we still circling back. It's cyclical. Like, we still back here again, Marquita. Like, you just had mad money the other day. Like, what you mean negative? What you mean? Like, what are you talking about, girl? What is you doing? And I know what I'm doing. So of course, like, to work through the shame and the regrets and the anger and the disappointment and the disgrace, like, to work through all the feels that come up when you're looking at yourself. And we're going to get into this before I go, how to do the workbook. This is where I really came back for that, and to clear up the things, because again, don't nobody, if you don't know me, then you make it silly with it. So you take, I had to come back on and let y'all know my story. I would never harm myself. I would never harm my son. Mm-mm. Completely safe around these joints. Don't play with me and mine. Like, but again, when those moments of emotional takeover, thoughts and frequencies and beliefs and fears and nervous system rampage, like, it's like, maybe the sauna opens today. I'm so grateful because, like, when all these things come up, it's like, what do you do with that? What do you do with that? How do you alchemize that? And when it all bubbles, like, it's seemingly at the same time, because you've been repressing it so much, right? I was repressing it with my addiction. I was repressing it with the actions that made me avoid it, that made me not look at it. Again, if someone stabs me, or if I stab myself, right? Because this is, again, all this looking on the mirror, I'm sick. The source is just waiting on us. Our life is just waiting on our own selves. Nobody else fault. Nobody else to blame. Nobody nothing. Right? Except myself. And I can stab myself by stubbing my toe while I'm running on my way to work. I can stab myself by not speaking my truth and feeling all sticky, icky about it. I can stab myself, whatever it looks like when you harm yourself consciously or unconsciously. Okay? Or somebody else harmed you consciously or unconsciously. So it happens. You don't tend to it. The wound is festering. The wound is and again, if it's a big enough wound, oftentimes you will feel and see some effects of it, right? Especially like physical, but we're talking about emotional wounds. I'm translating it to physical to give some like visual and make it like more tangible. But it's like, and it does happen in the physical. Like I told you yesterday, you could like bump your toe on running on your way to work, or bump your thigh, and you don't, later on you see a big ass bruise on your thigh. There's a great example, because that often happens. You see a big ass bruise on you, or even just now, I just felt that, but now I remember what happened yesterday for that. But it's like you feel it, you're like, oh, ow, like, ooh, was it hurting versus was it painful? That just came to mind. Hurting, you don't always feel like consciously feel the hurt. You don't always consciously feel the pain either. But to me, like, pain be chilling in there. It be like chilling. Like, say that bruise on the leg, like the thigh. It's like, hey, I'm just in here. Just chilling, but you're not gonna feel that hurt until you press on the pain, until you press on the point. You're like, oh, baby, and my mother, it's like, oh my gosh, you were hurting. Oh, that hurt you so much. Oh, let me put something on it. Let me take care of you. Let me tend to that. That's the emotional stuff. That's the traumas. Those are the experience. That's the molestation. That's the disrespect. That's the people bleed. Like all these different little things are what shared or show you like that they are there. Then if you don't look at them, they'll just chill there. But they'll calcify it. They'll do so many damn things. And then your thigh ain't moving, and you're like, "What happened?" And the source sit your ass down, and you gotta rest and get your thigh all healed. It's like because you ain't sit down and with it, so so you're gonna be forced to. So like I had my own version of being forced to sit down and deal with it yesterday, and it was of course uncomfortable, and of course I didn't enjoy it, or not of course, but again, it's not that I had a crappy day. My response to it was crappy. My reaction to the resistance was what made it energetically zapping and crying and all these other stuff. So my baby is waking up, so we're gonna shift out. But how to do the work? I was like, listen, baby, I know two ways to get money: masculine, feminine. I know I can sit down and do what I'm supposed to do, love on myself, nurture myself, all these things, take care of myself, journal, stretch, drink the water, blah 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 blah. Just keep tuning in with source and get rising, guys. Um, and do the work, the inner work, and that outer reality is woo chow. And mostly emotion, like not mostly the other stuff that I'm about to say, which is like so-called masculine, which is like do the outer work. Go do the real estate. Go do the life insurance. Go to the job. Go build the business. Go set up and sell your books. Go land flip. Go forex trading. Like go do all of that stuff and make that money. Period. Like you don't want to brush your teeth. You don't want to stretch yourself. You don't want to shake your ass. You don't want to lymphatic massage. You don't want to qigong. You don't want to do nothing to make sure your breath and your health and your body is all right. Okay, you can still get money. Like it. You don't got to take care of yourself to actually get money, but taking care of yourself, hey, that's like literally the way. That's the old way. That's the feminine, attracting, aligned way. But then there's also like again, take the action, boom, 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 down. Cause and effect. See me, amor? Okay, while you taking it off, the little pee came out. Yeah, it happens. How you feeling about it? Oh, how come? Oh, is it you? Can your papa that being to you? Oh, make sure we'll put that in the washer so you can have that ASAP. Put it in the washer. She's dry first. Make her wash her hair. Wash her hair. And then since you can go ahead and show. Babies, I don't know anything on it. And just a little bit of it's fine. You get the big family after you come to yesterday. And I'll see if you. And I'll feed something if you start if you want to. Okay. Well, they also make it. Okay. Okay, so look at you can get your toothbrush, the toothpaste from now. Okay, then go ahead and wash your stuff. Put your toothpaste. When you use it? Okay. Here, it's over here. Except for this. Never right time, say goodbye. All right, compromiso. Khadija, you still here? How about this? You never know what's gonna come up for you to friend and the processing life. All right. So noticing and being aware of my responses around life towards life based on my financial circumstances, which are based on my choices, is just it's just what I do. I like to be aware and I like to share my awarenesses. And it's for me, my son, and if he chooses or in his alignment with grandchildren to come. All right. And then of course for anybody else it supports and helps in the world. Gratitude. How to do the work. You remember the holistic psychologist, like on IG? Like, oh, she puts it at the bottom. Yeah, the holistic psychologist. She has the IG. So if you know Lewis Howes, Mel Robbins, Benstein. I'm not sure if this lady Carolyn Purcell Merciska, CEO of KDMP Consulting Group, certified emotional strategist and neuro life coach. Looking into her. She's my cup of tea. So yeah, some of the greats. Emotional addiction. When trauma is not properly addressed, it is left to drive our narratives and shape our autonomic responses. Drive your narrative, what you believe, what you think about what comes up for you. Somebody calls you up, yeah, you're gonna respond like, oh my god, fear because you was programmed to be fearful, based on somebody was roaring at your mom or roaring at somebody else or roaring at you, and you learn to quiver. That could be your response, your autonomic response, right? Sympathetic nervous system, your fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. What are you doing? And it's based on how you were programmed to respond. Somebody could call somebody else a bee. They're like, who you talking to? Watch your mouth. Ah, da, 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 da. They learned fight. They learned aggression. They learned to be direct. They learned to come at people. Like, don't let nobody talk to you like that. That is programmed. Somebody was trained like that. Think of the children that will put somebody down real quick. Like, because they were taught, don't let nobody do that to you. You know, like, don't even let me talk to you crazy. That's all I'm talking about. I'm like, don't even let me talk to you crazy. Like, don't let nobody talk to you wild. Like, you know. But of course, don't put your hand on a woman. Walk away. He already know that. Like, boys, kill him. Like, kill him. They put their hand, just kill him. Extremes. The boys put your hand in their hand and kill him. The ladies put your hand on and run away. Oh my gosh. So I wasn't intending to start a new book until I completed the last book that I wanted to with you all in here. We've been reading the Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy, and best book on the planet. And we are on chapter like or segment 42 or 14. Oh, on my day 42 on my YouTube. But yeah, chapter 14, and it's about the subconscious mind and marital problems. And this book is amazing. Like, it gives you this the scientific way to pray. Have you heard of scientific prayer? Science and prayer, science and spirit. Come on, it's eating, baby. It's eating. And we're all actually almost done with this book. This many pages left, which are 37 to 81. Well, to round up 37 to 40, and then 40 to 80, 40. So about 40 more pages. Literally 2 pages a day, about 20 days. It could be done like this. Like, this book could be done so quickly. And I was on YouTube reading 2 pages a day. I stopped at day 42 and we got some marriage. No, listen, the resistance, I'm not surprised that that's unconsciously when I stopped. I didn't consciously choose to stop. And I was like, okay, well, all of this coming up for me though. I'm like, I gotta figure something out. And for me, I was like, I gotta get back to the basics. I showed y'all my habit tracker, and I'm gonna do articles about it. I'm gonna write about it as well each month. Um, but yeah, the way I have not done this month is the contrast. Okay. Remember, I started habit tracking in November. So, of course, just like with the meditation, my goal was 1,000. I did 300. I could have focused on the 700 I did not do, or I could big up myself for the 300 I did do. So that's where I'm at with my habit tracker. It's like, girl, like, there's stuff you like reading. I love learning, and I love out of all the learning modalities, reading. Okay, like that sex. SE, it was called bibliosex or something, right? Books, baby, smarts, baby. I don't sapiosex. Okay, just like me and learning is the best. It's absolute. Nothing tops it. Other eating and learning, and then playing, those 3 things, and dancing. Like those on an island. All of those things on an island. Oh man. But yeah. So the other thing that came up, and money, like we know, spend it. Uh, but yeah, it's a lot to manage and to recognize and to alchemize and to shift. And pardon I got a lot of trail off thought of where I was at, but I said, you know what? With this round of this month, right, of my habit tracking, like the goal is to have it be, and God is so God, you almost done, baby? You want your toothbrush now? You want your toothbrush and toothpaste to finish it up in there? So you want to wait till you come out? It may be easier to do it while you're in there, because you got the water there. You can just stick your tongue out and let the water. He wants to do it after it's been. He said he wants to do it. So I was. That's what I was all for. Okay, make sure you squat with that weight right there. Okay, after you eat mango. Okay. Um, so yeah, this round, like again, that's cyclical. Like how we back here, 22, almost two decades, back to back. I mean, paycheck to paycheck. You're just not addressing your relationship with money, meaning you're not addressing your relationship with yourself and your relationship with your love and discipline and commitment and consistency and trust and right self-value, self-worth, like all the stuff you're not doing. Mind you, when I started my habit tracking last year, November, the first book I started with that was so supportive to getting me in a like more peaceful relationship and more abundant relationship with abundance and source. Overcoming under earning, one of my favorites. Top tier, top tier, top tier, top tier. Must read, must read, must read. Think and Grow Rich, Overcoming under earning. Top tier, top tier. Like Power of Your Subconscious Mind, like top tier, all up there. Um, and it's like to do all this intentional reorganizing, reorienting with money and different assets of myself, my self worth. Like I did the artist way, like just so many things, and I'm just like to still come back here again. It's like, oh girl, like what is you not doing, baby? And I already know, right? But uh, what I'm realizing is that the masculine aspect, like back in the day when you had to get up and go to school or else you had to get up to go to work or else you had to do this or else. I haven't had that or else in a minute because I aligned myself with a path that allowed me to get into rest and moving at my own pace and flow and, just being taken care of regardless and all that stuff. And that's been phenomenal. Like, shorty needed that experience. But outside of that, like, okay, you want support? You want support? Support, SUPPORT. Would you like some support? No. But yes, we're going to be getting into this starting today. There's my day one all over again. August 23rd was when I committed to myself last year. And, that's about to, that'll be right, that's right around the corner. So, setting new goals with myself and just reconnecting and reestablishing that consistent tuning in with myself and source within, and of course my ancestors as well, and doing so in a way that really helps me to get what I want out of life, financially, economically. Dreams coming true needs or else. Dreams coming true or else. Like the moolah is a part of it. So I'm excited to share on the way. I do have a lot of ideas in mind. Other than my archive, like my going down my memory lane and clearing out my photos and organizing them, and then sharing my past with you all and things that have been supportive. And I know to support you all too. Like that is there. And then I also am now looking into you know what, let me not even because I tell you, like, it's so funny, you know how people say like that, don't say stuff because I was drinking like sweet. It's like, honey, if I feel like this, it don't matter. Like, it don't matter if I done sold somebody or whatever. Like, it's still gonna get done. But it's like there is and I've always recognized there is still a little, not weakening, but it's like a disbursement. Like there's a little release or excretion. Like they say, like I'm not sure which one of them, if it's dopamine or serotonin or and one of them gets released when we do certain things. And like even when we say that we're gonna do something, it could almost give us release that chemical, that endorphin that says like, oh yeah, I did something, when you like all you did was speak about it, so you didn't really do anything about it fully. I mean, speaking on it is it action, but there's more needs to be done. So all that being said, like I know how it is that when you share what you want to do, sometimes that could be a part of how why it don't get done. So I do have a lot of different things in store in mind. Uh, it's all to just express, and create. It's all to just like keep documenting the data, keep my historical data, her historical data. I want my children and my child and my great grandchildren to be able to tune in to their ancestors for generations to come. Like that's why I want to create the vaults and many other storage spaces for us, archival storage spaces for us. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what's to come. I'm looking forward to actually doing what I said I'm gonna do today. I'm looking forward to doing what I said I'm gonna do today. I'm looking forward to doing what I said I'm going to do. Baby. God, you out the shower? Okay. Um, when I made that commitment to myself, August 23rd, 2025, the two focuses was to rebuild self trust with my inner child and to clear the resistances that block the abundance that I am, right? Those were my main two intentions last year. And to be back here again, where it's like I got to redevelop self love all over again. And I got another brick of it because your self love bricks get tear down. They barely get built up when you're growing up, right? We come from a world where we are trained to lack self love and self care, self respect, and self all those things, right? So to actually wire those neurological bridges, those synapses, like it's a work. It's new. We are new to this, not true to this. Now the DNA, it's in our DNA. Our DNA knows how to love ourselves and all that stuff. Like we've been there, done that. But yeah, the awakening process is it's a process. It's a process to get back to devotion and discipline and self love and self respect and self honoring and self trust and listening to your what you think about it and your intuition and what source is speaking through you. Like we have learned the complete opposite in this world. So God, get out. It's like shorty who just like have so much resistance to being in the water, and then as soon as they in there, they in there, they in there. What God will take a bath for 2 hours. Just keep bringing him toys and food, like, and he will just chill and be playing. And it's like, bruh, my baby's ready for me. Draw him off. All right, just start with the dry yourself off with the washcloth, and then I'll come in there with the towel. Sounds great. Yeah, that's a set to dry yourself off with that. You know how that warms us up real quick. Yeah. Oh, did you leave it in the shower itself? Oh, okay. Well, I'm coming to it disappeared totally. Okay, I'm gonna come check it out with you. And I have to head out. Peace, peace, peace.